and it would destroy us from the inside out. But it wasn't a nuke. It was psychological warfare.
Is a slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism.
That was Yuri Bezmenov, a former KGB informant and Soviet defector who told us all back in, what was it, 84, that it was already too late. The commie mind virus was already loose, and America's well on the way towards national decay. He called it the 4 stages of ideological subversion, basically a roadmap for tricking enemy nations into committing cultural suicide. Step 1, as you heard him explain, demoralization. Teach the kids to hate America, fill their minds with cultural Marxism, just slowly chip away at patriotism and family values. Does that sound familiar? So what's step 2?
The next stage is destabilization. This time, subverter does not care about your ideas and the patterns of your consumption. Whether you eat junk food and get fat and flabby, it doesn't matter anymore. This time, and it takes only from 2 to 5 years to destabilize a nation. And you can see it quite clearly that in some areas, in such sensitive areas as defense and economy, the influence of Marxist-Leninist ideas in the United States is absolutely fantastic.
So who's destabilizing us? Are there thousands of Soviet sleeper cells still operating here? Not really. We're doing it ourselves.
Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. Your leftists in the United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize the nation.
So all of this was before the internet, where you could only brainwash people face to face, but now you have social media. It's like pouring gas on the fire. So what's the end goal of all of this? Steps 3 and 4, crisis and normalization. You make us fat, ignorant, angry, divided, too lazy to take responsibility for the well-being of ourselves and the nation. And then you consolidate all the power in a federal government that's just happy to bribe us into submission.
This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to bring the country to crisis, to promise people all kind of goodies and the paradise on earth, to destabilize your economy, to eliminate the principle of free market competition, and to put a big brother government in Washington, D.C.
So what's next? How do we turn the tide and fight back against this ridiculous revolution? Or is it too late?